Update. Swine flu resembles the 1918 flu. The new H1N1 virus more likely to cause pneumonia than regular flu viruses. And the new H1N1 influenza virus bears a disturbing resemblance to the virus strain that caused the 1918 flu pandemic, with a greater ability to infect the lungs than common seasonal flu viruses, researchers have said in a new study. Tests in several animals confirmed other studies that have shown the new swine flu strain can spread beyond the upper respiratory tract, go deep into the lungs, making it more likely to cause pneumonia, the international team said. In addition, they found that people who survived the 1918 pandemic seemed to have extra immune protection against the virus, again confirming the work of other researchers. When we conducted the experiments in ferrets and monkeys, the seasonal virus did not replicate in the lungs, said one researcher at the University of Wisconsin. The H1N1 virus replicates significantly better in the lungs. And separately, a top official at the World Health Organization said a fully licensed swine flu vaccine might not be available until the end of the year, and the report could affect many countries' vaccine plans. The countries could use emergency provisions to get the vaccines out quicker if they decide their populations need them, said the director of WHO's Initiative for Vaccine Research. The swine flu viruses currently being used to develop a vaccine aren't producing enough of the ingredient needed for the vaccine, and the WHO has asked its laboratory network to produce a new set of viruses as soon as possible. So far, the swine flu viruses being used are only producing approximately half as much yield to make vaccines as regular flu viruses. This new swine flu virus has caused the first pandemic of the 21st century, infecting more than 1 million people. Actually, it's probably at least twice that much, according to estimates, and killing at least 500. The WHO says it is causing mostly moderate disease, but that does not mean it is like the seasonal flu. This is something different. This is something more. And pregnant women have been especially vulnerable to serious effects, and obesity has been linked as a risk factor for severe complications. One researcher said, "There is a misunderstanding about this virus. There is direct, clear evidence the virus is different from seasonal influenza." Writing in the journal Nature, the researchers noted that the ability to infect the lungs is a characteristic of other pandemic viruses, especially the 1918 virus, which is estimated to have killed at least between 40 million and 100 million people. And the world's population was much smaller back then. They tested the virus in blood samples taken from nursing home residents and workers. In 1999 in California, Wisconsin, the Netherlands, and Japan. So people born before 1920 had a strong antibody response to the new H1N1 virus, meaning their body remembered it from infection early in life. This finding supports a study published in Nature, but also found people who survived the 1918 pandemic still had immune protection against that virus. But now, that's been a long time ago, and the swine flu, it is a pestilence or a plague. Flu viruses change constantly, which is why people can be reinfected and why the vaccine must be changed regularly. Current seasonal strains of H1N1 are distant cousins of both the 1918 pandemic strain and the new H1N1 strain. Yes, and this is something new. Our findings are a reminder that swine origin influenza viruses have not yet garnered a place in history, but they may still do so, as the pandemic caused by these viruses has the potential, yes again, has the potential to produce a significant impact on human health and the global economy, the researchers said. The World Health Organization has said that vaccine makers should start making immunizations against H1N1 and that healthcare workers should be the first in line to get them. The WHO has previously estimated that the world could have as many as 4.9 billion doses of H1N1 swine flu vaccine ready for the next flu season. But this assumes people only need one shot and production yields are similar to seasonal vaccine. They could possibly need 2 shots. And this is if all goes well. And again, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, plagues, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Yes, last week in China, 10,000 homes collapsed from a 6.0 earthquake, and 38,000 homes were damaged. That could be called an earthquake, yes. Another earthquake in China last week. And the swine flu, H1N1 virus, flu virus, well, it could also be called a pestilence or a plague. Everything is connected. And once again, all these are more signs of the end times transition days. Actually, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. The transition is ongoing. It's happening every day all around the world. Watch the news. Watch the weather change. And there are many, many signs.